So this is the new OnePlus Nord CE4 Lite. It's a phone that's launched at 20,000 rupees in the Indian market for its base variant. So recently, I had the chance to go hands-on with it and spend some time with the phone. In this video, I want to give you guys an unboxing and also a color comparison between the silver and the blue color. There is also a third orange color, which has not been launched yet. And I want to share my experience with you guys of using the device and talk about things that I like and also some of the things that are just downright confusing about the Nord CE4 Lite. Should be a fun video, stick around till the end and let's get started. Now talking about the unboxing experience, you have a typical OnePlus Nord box with the bright blue color and the Nord branding. Lift that lid up and you have the small compartment that has your free silicone case. Nothing special, this is not color matched like you get with some of their more premium devices. You have your SIM ejector tool, a bunch of documentation, some stickers, and the Red Cable Club membership card. Moving on, you have the phone itself, which is wrapped in plastic. So peel that off and it reveals this really nice new finish. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, in terms of the accessories, you get your 80-watt SuperVOOC fast charger and a cable, which is the USB Type-C to Type-A cable in the signature OnePlus red color. And yeah, the accessories and everything remains the same for both the colors. So I'm only unboxing the phone once. And now let's talk about the phone itself. Now talking about the color comparison, both phones are really good looking. The blue and the super silver. Personally, I like the blue more since it's such a bright blue color. Like looking at this in real life is something else. I don't know if the camera can really capture what it really looks like. But yeah, the phone is made out of plastic and both phones have a glossy back. There is no matte option here. The ultra orange color is going to be launched soon, so that's going to be exciting to see how that looks in real life. The super silver color is basically like a mirror finish, so it does take a lot of fingerprints and smudges. Actually, both phones do take fingerprints and smudges. It's plastic and it's a reflective glossy back. But they don't really get scratched easily since plastic is harder to scratch compared to glass. So that's that. And yeah, I really like both the finishes. You guys let me know in the comments down below which color you like. Personally, I like the blue, but I'm curious to know your thoughts. Now talking about the phone itself, starting off with the design and build quality, I actually like the design of the Nord CE4 Lite. It's simple, it's minimal and elegant to look at. You've got flat sides, flat front and back and rounded corners, which makes the phone, comfortable to hold, and it looks premium. It definitely looks more expensive than it's priced. It's 191 grams in terms of the weight and 8.1 millimeters in terms of the thickness, and there is a IP54 rating, which means that it's splash resistant, so you can take it out and in a light drizzle if it's raining outside. But other than that, don't really go swimming or dip this into a pool or something. But it's it's got some nice things, like there is storage expansion via micro SD up to 2 terabytes. There is a headphone jack for those who still use wired headphones, but it's missing some little things that you expect at this price. Like there is no HDR on the phone, like as a whole. And I think it's a limitation of the processor, not really the panel. There's no HDR in YouTube, no HDR in Netflix or Amazon Prime, so that's that. There is no wide angle camera here. There's 2 cameras on the back and one of them is a 2 megapixel macro. There's also no noise cancellation microphone here, which is just weird. There's no NFC as well, but okay, NFC is more of a premium feature, so that's that. Coming back to the things that I like about the phone, I really like the display on the Nord CE4 Lite. It's 6.67 inches in terms of the size and it's AMOLED this year, whereas it was IPS in the previous edition. And it's a full HD plus display, 120Hz refresh rate, and it's an 8-bit panel with 600 nits of typical brightness, 1200 nits in high brightness mode, and 2100 nits in peak brightness. So it does get plenty bright. Even for outdoor usage, you should be fine. The bezels around the display are pretty thin, except the bottom bezel, it's a little thick. But other than that, overall the phone looks really good. But there's no HDR, and I think that's more of a limitation for the processor, because the Snapdragon 695 that this phone has does not have HDR playback. But overall, I really like the display. It's smooth, it gets plenty bright, the colors are nice, and just using the phone in day-to-day tasks, doing scrolling through social media, watching YouTube videos, playing some light games, all of that is really fun, and the display looks really good. It's got in-display fingerprint scanner and stereo speakers, which actually sound pretty decent. Like they're not the best speakers in the world, but if you're watching a movie or a video or listening to something, it's actually a pretty fun experience. So that's that. Now, talking about things that I don't like is the specs and hardware on this phone. So you've got a Snapdragon 695 processor. It's a 5G processor, but it was launched in October of 2021 and it's borderline 3 years old now. And the fun fact is that OnePlus used the same processor in the Nord CE2 Lite and the Nord CE3 Lite. And funny enough, as funny as it sounds, they're still using it 3 years later in the Nord CE4 Lite as well. And this processor is coupled with 8 gigabytes of RAM and you can get it in either 128 or 256 gigabytes of UFS 2.2 storage, and there is a 5500 milliamp hour battery, which is a really good thing. Now, it's not a bad processor. For day-to-day tasks like scrolling through social media, doing email, browsing, watching videos, all of that is fine. But this processor is not really future-proof. Like if you're planning to use this phone for the next 2 or 3 years, I don't know how it's going to hold up. If you're a light user, it's gonna get the job done. But if you do anything, relatively heavy on your phone, multitasking or running games, using the camera a lot, all of that stuff, people even, edit photos and videos on their phones these days. So I don't know how this processor is going to hold up in that. And I just feel like heavy users are gonna run into performance issues. And it's just not acceptable to use a 3-year-old processor in this price bracket. Like I reviewed the Poco X6 recently and that has a Snapdragon 7S Gen 2. And if you compare the 695 to any processor on the market in terms of the numbers, in terms of benchmarks, it falls flat. It's not even close to any of them. Even processors like, the Snapdragon 782G or the Dimensity, 7200, all of these processors are great. And I think anything but the 695 would have been better on the Nord CE4 Lite. So that's that. Now, coming back to things that I like the battery and charging on this phone. It's a 5500 milliamp hour battery, which is huge for this phone, and it charges via 80 watt SuperVOOC fast charger. First off, since the processor is not that great and it's for light users, this phone, it's gonna run really well. You're gonna have 8+ hours of screen on time without any issues, even at 120 Hz. And you should be able to charge the phone really quick, like under an hour. I think 53 minutes is what the company is claiming, which is really good. And this battery is going to last you really long, even if you're using the phone a lot throughout the day. So I really like the battery and charging. I also like the camera on this phone. And yes, I said camera, not cameras. There's 2 cameras on the back. There's a 50 megapixel main sensor with f1.8 aperture. And this is Sony's LYT600 sensor, which is actually a really good camera sensor. And the main sensor on this phone can get you really nice photos. In good daylight conditions, you can get some nice photos. Even low light photos are not that bad. You can get some good portrait shots. But again, because of the Snapdragon 695 and how it's really old, you are stuck with 1080p 30 fps video for the main camera. Not even 1080p 60 fps. Forget about 4K recording. That's really bad. But overall, the pictures are pretty nice on this phone. It is OIS compatible, but the videos are just average. I'm gonna throw up some photo samples and you guys have been looking at them. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And the other camera is a 2 megapixel macro, which I never use, so that's that. There is a 16 megapixel front selfie camera as well, which is decent if you like posting selfies on social media. So that's that. In terms of software, you're running Android 14 out of the box, and on top is Oxygen OS 14. Not a lot of bloatware. You can get rid of some of the apps. Overall, it's the same experience that you get on their premium phones. So yeah, Oxygen OS 14 runs fast. Multitasking is fine. App opening times are not the fastest on this phone. Even with 8 gigabytes of RAM, this processor does struggle. There are some lags and hiccups here and there. Small stuff. It's not a big deal breaker. As I said, if it's for a light user, if you're just doing social media and browsing and email and you want a OnePlus phone, this can get the job done. But if you're going to play games or use the phone a lot or do heavy things on it, you're going to run into performance issues, and I'm going to be really honest about that. And a huge shout out to the OnePlus store in Forum Mall, Koramangala, Bengaluru. They gave me the phone for the video, so do check them out. I'll leave their contact details as well as their location in the description down below. If you're looking to buy anything OnePlus related in Bangalore, they have the best deals and prices, so again, show them some love. And there you have it. That's the OnePlus Nord CE4 Lite for you guys. Final thoughts. Things that I like the display. I like the design and build quality on the phone. It looks really nice in all the colors. I also like the camera. The main camera is actually really good, and the battery life and charging. Things that I don't like about this phone: the processor. It's really bad and old. There's no NFC. There's no ultra wide angle camera here. You're stuck at 1080p 30 fps for video. It's just lacking basic features. There's not even a noise cancellation microphone, as I said. And I feel if this phone was priced a little lower, it would have been still acceptable, but it starts at 20,000 rupees, and on Amazon you can get a discount and you can get it for like 19,000 rupees. There's two variants, as I said, so 20,000 and 23,000 for 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. So that's that. And yeah, that's just not acceptable. I feel the phone should have been priced a little bit lower, because in this price you have the Poco X6, you have some other phones, the iQOO Z9, all of those phones are giving you way better performance. And as far as I know, the budget market, people really like to get as much performance as they can for their money when they're buying phones in this price segment. So honestly, my recommendation is to skip this one. You can spend the extra money and get the Nord CE4 or the Nord 3 if you can find one, or just wait for the Nord 4. It's going to be a little bit expensive, so that's that. You can look at other options as well. Check out my channel for other reviews of phones in this price bracket. But with that being said, that's my honest opinion on the Nord CE4 Lite. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Like this video if you found this video helpful. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on future uploads. And with that being said, my name has been Yusuf. You guys have been awesome. Stay awesome, keep smiling, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.